Hi, this is Tom Soane. I'm talking about online auctions or modern auctions. They're described in different ways, but there are a couple of main companies that provide this service, Pattinson's being one, I Am Sold being another. And there are a few things that you definitely have to watch out for. There are also some really good opportunities in these modern auctions. So I wanted to give you a bit of a heads up on what those two things are, what the things to watch out for are and what the opportunities are, and a few little facts and figures about online auctions. So first of all, the main companies that are doing this are Pattinson's and I Am Sold. There are a few others, like WooBid is another one, but the main ones, so I can see, are Pattinson's and I Am Sold. Now, I'm not getting paid to plug them, by the way. So what does it mean? So a modern form of auction is basically an online auction where you see a property listed on Rightmove or Zoopla, or an agent contacts you and so on, and they invite you to submit your bid online. Simple enough. Now, there's a couple of things that first of all you have to watch out for. There are normally higher buying fees or auction fees involved in the modern form of auction or online auctions. And I'll give you an example. Don't quote me on the figures here, but it's roughly, I think Pattinson's are around 4.2% of the purchase price as their auction fee. That's really high. They also have a minimum, I think, of 6,000. So, you know, on the face of it, that seems really expensive. But don't worry about that, and I will come back to that in a second. But I think I Am Sold is actually 5%, so a little bit more expensive, with a minimum, I think, of 7,000. Again, don't quote me on those exact figures. They are roughly right. But the good thing about these things is that you don't have to, well, first of all, you don't have to worry about that buying fee or that auction fee, because you can just build it into the total purchase cost. Just take it away from the price that you would normally pay for this property. Simple as that. And yeah, that's an obvious calculation, an obvious way to work it out. But a couple of other things I want you to watch out for. Number one, you are bidding against other people that you can't see in a room. So there may well be loads of people bidding on that one property. So don't fall into that trap of overbidding just to try and win. And another good thing about it actually is that you do get notified by email about your bid and about your competitors' bids and whether you're outbid or you win it and all that sort of stuff. So it's quite cool. And quite often there are 28 days for those bids to come in. So the auction is not just for that period of time that you're in the room for, it's actually for a 28-day period. Now, here's something annoying, is that sometimes, in some instances, every single time there's a bid, the auction restarts. So that is quite irritating. But not from the seller's perspective, because of course they want to get the highest amount possible, and you can only bid in certain increments anyway, so it's not like someone could just go in and bid a penny more just to make the auction last longer. A couple of other things are that there is also going to be reserve prices or reserves. So that means quite simply where the seller has set that this is my reserve price. If the auction doesn't go above this price, I will not sell. And that means in these instances normally that if the reserve is not met, then the property will go back on the auction again for another 28 days. Now, quick thing to watch out for. If you make an offer and it doesn't meet the reserve, but the property goes back into auction, it can go back into the auction 10 times and it will still, your offer will still be valid. So if all of a sudden that reserve is removed or reduced and your offer is now relevant or applicable, then you will be buying that property. So watch out for that. They will hold you to your offer no matter how long it takes. So do watch out for that. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Make your offer, leave it there, see how you get on, and later down the line, they might come back to you with a nice surprise. Another thing to I guess watch out for, but could be an opportunity, is that you will get agents that contact you and say, hey, you got this property, it's on an online auction, so go and check it out, make an offer. And you will want to say to that agent, well, how about if I make you an offer now of this price? The agent says, oh, that sounds really good, go and make your offer on the online auction. Think about it. The agent's job is to get offers on the table, to get offers on the system. So if you've done that, you are then committed. So at least that agent is doing a job and getting you to commit to that offer. Now, again, that's not a bad thing. You stick the right offer on that property and leave it, then later on down the line, that might come back to you with good news. So don't forget that. Now, normally once you have an offer accepted and the auction ends, you've then got 56 days to complete. Normally 56, some are 28. Make sure you find out what the term for completion is going to be before you make your offer. Sometimes they're 28 days, sometimes they're 56. You can haggle that. Before you make your offer, you could say to the agent, I will make an offer, but I demand that it's 56 days or longer, whatever you decide to haggle. That just means that it's easier for you to buy that property with a mortgage, because look, you're waiting on things that are outside of your control. Council searches, surveyors valuations, surveyor reports, all of those things, solicitor inquiries. So if you can delay that completion for a bit longer, it buys you a bit more time. You can still complete earlier, but it means that you're not tied into 28 days. And once you get that ball rolling, I Am Sold are a particularly good example in that they will do all the chasing for you. They'll do all the updates for you. So it's actually pretty good. I actually quite like the experience of buying through modern auction or online auction. It's pretty good. But look, the way to calculate all of this is, first of all, you set the purchase price for this property. And then you deduct the buying fee, and that's your offer that you put on the system. So I'll give you an example. If the buying fee is going to be $6,000 and the purchase price is 100, I offer 94. Simple as that. Now, it does mean that I need a little bit more cash on completion of the purchase. That's fine. It is a bit annoying that I'm tying up an extra £6,000 in cash, but it all works out in the end. Actually, it means I have to borrow a little bit less, and it's, it works out in the end. But just remember that you are going to be tying up that extra little bit of cash until you get the resale, the relet, the refinance, whatever you're doing. Oh, resale, relet, refinance. I like that. Anyway, so online auctions are a good thing. I like online auctions, and I'm certainly going to be buying more online auctions, but where are the opportunities? Simple. If there is a property that appears on an online auction, you calculate your offer, you make your offer, and sometimes other people don't bid as high as you. Sometimes that property doesn't sell for any more than your offer, and even if you haven't met the reserve, you may well still get that property. Now, if you do get that property, you could be in with you could get a cracking little bargain there, because maybe someone else hasn't spotted it. Maybe in that particular instance, someone else doesn't know what value that property could achieve. And if it's an online auction, then you might not get the full audience bidding and buying that, wanting to buy that property. Maybe it's in an area that not so many people know about. So check out the online auctions, make your offers based on what is the right return on investment for you and the right yield for you, and then just sit back, and if it comes in, great. If it doesn't come in, then fine, move on to the next one. Make a relationship with the agents that speak to you. The I Am Sold and the Pattinson's agents, for an example, they're good guys, they know what they're doing. So anyway, get onto the online auctions. Let me know how you get on. Have you bought anything from an online auction before? Let me know. I'll be really interested to know your experience. tom@pinkstreet.co.uk. My name's Tom Soane, and this is the Anonymous Landlord.